Testing. Testing. Are you plugged in? Are you on?
I should be.
Your mic is on?
Yeah, it should be.
Are we streaming?
Yeah. There's no one on yet, but... And we have an excellent connection.
Excellent connection.
Well, let's see.
All right. Hello, everyone. If anyone is watching tonight.
We got a bunch of zeros.
Bunch of zeros, just like Shane and myself.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mean it like that. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
And if we don't get anyone, hey, there's someone. If we don't get anybody, then it's still gonna be uploaded to our, oh, hello, Capture.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Hi, Scott. Scott's really upped his comment game in the past couple of days.
Scott, where are you from again? Just so we can remember.
Hi, Hoist.
Hoist is here, as always.
Yeah, Scott's really upped his game. He's been very helpful. Hey, guys. Hey, hello, Ken.
Hey, guys. Just had to get a little closer to Shane here.
Get a little closer. Metro Atlanta? Is that what he said?
Metro
Scott?
Atlanta. Okay, yep. Georgia. Georgia's in the house.
Hey, Edward.
I like the shirt that I'm wearing today because it's a little loose. I don't feel as large as I do sometimes.
I understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel good today.
Yeah, good. Hi, guys. How are you? I tell you, I love this core group. Nice work. Can you help me out there?
Yeah, nice work getting all 28 videos in. Guys, we're actually working on hopefully getting, if we can figure out something that we can have like a big screen here so we can read the comments better. So we do appreciate you bearing with us and us constantly bending over to look into it.
Yeah, we don't want you to take offense to that. And for my old eyes, and I never have my glasses with me. I have readers that I could be like, like a true librarian. Hoist, thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. It was a lot of work. It was thanks to Lauren, our editor, and thanks to Steven as well. He pitched in. We asked Lauren to come on tonight, but she's a little camera shy, so I don't think she really felt comfortable. Hoist, that's an important question.
How was Florida? It was warm.
Oh, good.
Came home to, well, it was actually warm last night when I got in. It was like 36 or something.
Yeah, it was warm. It's been warm.
But no, it was great. Thanks for asking. Disney's always fun, and 85 and sunny the whole time. So
there we go.
It was a lot of fun. Oh, A-Devs is here, last week's winner.
That's right. So we put that in the mail. I hope you got that. I hope you got the LCS 9 cover. I think it was mailed on Monday, so hopefully you'll get that soon. Yeah, so away we go.
Away we go.
So we don't really have a set. We have a little stuff going on. It looks like we're going to talk about a bank. Is that what that says?
You really do need your reader.
What does it say? A book. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Shane, the author here. Yeah, we have a few things. We're going to show you guys some posters that we have, talk about our Save the Sullivans campaign and the event that we have coming up. Opening day is 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about future giveaways. And then just events we have coming up, and an idea that I threw by Shane a couple hours ago. We might do a movie thing.
Oh yeah.
Since we're every 2 weeks now, it gives you guys a little bit of time. We're thinking about maybe picking a movie everybody watch it, or if they've already watched it, and then we come back, we do like a little, how'd you guys like the movie?
Yeah, and you know, I always love the Twilight Zone, and there's, as I talked about a couple moons ago, that there's about 12 wartime episodes in the Twilight Zone that I'd love to cover. This goes to, maybe it was Hoist who said we should have a movie night on the boat, which I love, so we'd have to get some licensing, you know, and things like that, so. Shane needs.
Hey, Kilo.
Hey, Kilo.
So.
Want to start off with the book?
Start off with the book.
Okay, all right. So.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, Shane has 2 books already. So if you haven't read them, you should read them. They're fantastic.
Oh well, yeah, thank you.
But go ahead.
So one of the things that we decided to work on here was a book for the Buffalo Naval Park. All right, we have these pamphlets that came out in about 1991, and they're just old, and you know, you can even see the word processor used like in the typeface and things like that. So, you know, just before that electronic and digital technology. So I'm doing a Images of America series. All right, I know they have one at the USS Alabama. I think they have one for the USS Bowfin or Pearl Harbor, maybe the Missouri, one out there in Hawaii, and so we decided to do one here. It's they're historic picture books. All right, maybe you've seen them. They're thousands all over the country in your neighborhoods. They have a sepia cover, and it's written in black as the title, and you know, it's usually a historic picture. So we decided to do that here for the Naval Park, and as Stephen has plugged, I've published 2 of those already, so I know the process, and so I'm working on that now. I've had a guy named Dale who's been really helpful, helping me go through the collections, the photographic collections, and we've picked out, as of right now, about 109 historic photographs from the ships, but we need about 200, so I'll be continuing to do that, and Dale's been a great help with that. So,
thank you, Dale.
Yeah, thank you, Dale. So that probably will be published for Christmas or so this year, hopefully.
Great Christmas present.
It is a great Christmas present. Yeah, and it'll be the Buffalo Naval Park. It's going to be about our 3 ships. It's going to be about Western New York veterans, some of our other artifacts, things like that. So, yeah, it's a lot of work, but you know, it's great. And then maybe that could be a giveaway too.
Yeah, maybe we can give away a signed copy.
Yeah, but that always decreases the value by 50 cents, right? So, yes.
So yeah, Save the Sullivans is, we have our yearly event coming up. It'll be at the Seneca One, in the Seneca One building lobby.
Yes.
And it'll be a great event just to have the community come in, and all the money goes to an endowment that we're using for the Sullivans. So this way, when things happen in the future, we're ready for it.
Yes.
So that's the idea. You know, this is going to be a process of getting it to where we want it to be. So, you know, if you guys are interested in coming, there are tickets on sale, $50 a person. Includes beer, food, and a great time. And the premiere, can we say that?
Yeah, totally.
We have a premiere of our USS the Sullivans video that will be, premiered that night. So if you're in town, it's going to be a great time. I believe it starts at 5:30.
I do.
March 15th, 5:30. Love to see you guys there.
Or is it 15th? Or 16th?
March 15th.
You got it. You're right, 15th, sorry. Yeah, so that's, if you're in town and you'd like to support us, all the staff will be there. So we'd love to have you come down if possible. You'll see our little bear right here, I think.
Yeah, we got our little bear, Sully. This also, we do sell this here, so when we open in a couple weeks, you'll be able to make this purchase. Another great gift.
Yeah.
I believe it's about $20. So, and the money goes to the Sullivans as well. So this isn't just, you know, a bear. It's going to keeping the Sullivans afloat. So
yeah,
this is our little friend here, Sully the bear.
But that also then leads to some giveaways. We talked about some poster giveaways. Now I have some examples of some of the posters. These, we have World War I posters as well, but these that I brought down as an example. So these were brought into our collections, I don't even know, 1997, something like that. Don't really have any provenance. Again, didn't really have someone on board that would have cataloged all of these things. But
we do have some hanging around the museum building, though.
Yeah, we do, certainly,
in the bathrooms,
yes.
And then in upstairs in our under our tent with our World War II exhibit.
You're true. You're true. True facts. But so this is one of my favorites. Save waste. I don't know if they can see that. Save waste for, return your fats to the meat dealer.
So why is that? What would that accomplish by doing that?
Well, they would use it for explosives. As this poster says, they would be able to convert the fat from meat and use it as a product in making ammunition. So, don't ask me more than that because I just don't know. But we've got certainly war bonds. All right, that's a nice little one. This is really cool. You won't be able to see the detail on this bird, but it's pretty sweet. You know, it's some birds talk too much, and it's a parrot.
Loose lips, sink ships.
It's almost similar to that.
Idea.
Got a couple Eisenhower ones. All right, let's see. Back them up and back them up. Different versions.
I like Ike.
That's right. By extra war bonds. You know, that's something that I really want to get into is the war bonds and how it affected everyday life here in America. This is a special one, right? And these are all original. All right, so these aren't reprints. These were original posters. This is one remembering Pearl Harbor. It's a pretty poignant one. And then again with the food, I don't understand it, but I love these again. Kind of this gets to like the everyday life of Americans and what Americans sacrificed. So it's pretty sweet. Conserved meat by proper handling in the home. All right, so this is a way of, you'd get a certain amount of meat a week, and this was a way of rationing it out to your family and things like that. So these were step-by-steps, very cool. Love it. So those are just a smatterings, and those are going to be some of the subscriber or viewer giveaway. I haven't figured that out yet. Should it be subscribers only? Should it be viewers? I don't know. Maybe some of these individuals that are watching right now are not subscribers.
And if you're not, you should be. You should be,
right? So we'll figure that out. Fat turns into glycerin. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. Hope you've thought about posting pics of your arcade items. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Ken asks a question, or History X asks the question, have you thought about posting pics of archived items where you're not aware of the origin? That's something Ken and I have talked about, or History X and I have talked about a little bit, because there will be videos from channels on YouTube where they say, we got this, it's like a mystery item. We got this item, we don't really know where it came from. Maybe someone, pays it forward or says, oh yeah, I remember something about that. But no, I have not. That is something that I would like to do. So let's add that to the list. Thank you, Ken.
Adev says war art is always so creative. It is. I mean, a lot of the World War II ones too, they really...
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're very colorful. That parrot one, if you look at that parrot one, maybe take the parrot one right up to the camera.
I mean, some of them are very, dare I say, propaganda-ish.
No, they are propaganda, and they are propaganda war posters.
Like this one here, and it's like...
Right.
What can you do to help? Buy U.S. war stamps. And they're just like,
Yeah, it's like all-American, blonde hair, blue-eyed ladies.
This could be you helping out the war.
Totally. Yeah, and they were propaganda. Usually propaganda has a negative connotation, but here in America, propaganda is always good, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we also have World War I posters as well, and that is a total different feel. It's usually like Lady Liberty or Columbia, much more symbolic of the idea of America as opposed to World War II that is almost very tangible, like conserve your meat and this is how, right? So it's know.
And we did a video on war bonds about the USS Buffalo. We're trying to get the USS.
Yeah, we did a little bit on that three cruisers, no Buffalo, right? That was the name of it. Yeah, so that was a way of supporting and having a name on a ship, was buying war bonds. $40 million worth.
All right, so Scott says another good discussion would be how the Navy started using nuclear weapons on surface ships.
To totally go in an opposite direction, right? Scott, is that Scott?
That's Scott.
Scott?
I feel like nuclear weapons might be on everybody's mind the last week or so.
You're right. You're right. Thank you for saying that. And that's that's funny because upstairs with the poster, I was going to bring it down, but there was one that showed a Russian soldier during World War II, and it said, "Don't forget, this is your friend." And it has the sickle and hammer on his helmet and stuff. So I was going to bring that down. I didn't. But yeah, that's what Scott has really embraced, the missile house. Right? He's been commenting, we've been conversing back and forth. He's shown me extra videos, so there's a nice Talos video that he showed me on YouTube. So yeah, when did they convert to nuclear? Certainly, as you guys know, the Little Rock did carry nuclear capable warheads on board. I don't think, certainly the Sullivans didn't, but and the Croker would not have. But that's something to look into. I don't have the discussion offhand, but that's something that would be a very nice video, right? To say why they converted, what did they have to do to convert the vessels to have those nuclear warheads on board, things like that, or what the protective measures they had to take. So I like that. Let's jot that down, please.
Real quick, Ken says some of them are like Norman Rockwell. And absolutely, yeah, New York Post, right? What is it, Saturday Evening Post type picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
What am I writing down here?
About the conversion to nuclear weapons on board.
That'd be a great video.
Yeah, certainly Norman Rockwell was, he had the Four Freedoms poster that are like some of the most famous posters. I think it's the freedom of want, freedom of worship, and there's well, there you go. There's two others that I can't remember offhand. And those are real collectible items.
You know who did a lot of posters like that during World War II was Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah.
He did do a lot of...
yeah, he was like a propagandist.
Like political cartoons, but they were very, just kind of reflecting what I guess the average American probably thought about what was going on in Germany. Especially people with like a Jewish background or heritage, That's something. I mean, it's similar again to now people with like Ukrainian heritage. They're very concerned about what's going on, and rightfully so.
Absolutely.
I have a friend actually that has that, and they're worried about like that's where their family's from, but that was similar to what Dr. Seuss was doing, and I believe that's kind of how he got his start. Was he was drawing these political cartoons during wartime, and there's a lot of them out there. So
yeah, in my head I'm picturing one, and Hitler's very strange looking. They have usually has a swastika on his forehead or something like that, right? So we got a little backed up here, but Edward, would the present Sullivans be carrying nukes? DDG-68, I would absolutely think they are carrying nuclear warheads on board. DDG-68, that's very true. Oh, and that reminds us, for the Kelly Sullivan will be in town for the March 15th fundraiser.
Always a great time when she's in town.
Always a great time.
Just lively and happy, and brings all of our spirits up.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to see her again.
I mean, it goes back to touching the hand that touched the hand, and you actually can touch the five boys by being around her. It's so important.
Okay, so Scott says, Edward, I'd say the Navy would not confirm.
Correct. In active service, right? They might release it as an unclassified after she goes out of commission, I guess.
So
Ken
didn't know about Dr. Seuss. Yeah, quick Google search, and you can just look up Dr. Seuss World War II, and you could see all of these cartoons that he drew at the time. Definitely interesting stuff.
Okay, thanks, Hoist. You said the U.S. Navy wasn't getting much support or funding to convert, nuclear ships to nuclear. We do have an exhibit to the Long Beach, the cruiser, and that is the strangest looking cruiser I've ever seen. It's the first nuclear cruiser. So they had to get it on somehow. The Forrestal class carriers started this too. Huh. B-38 versus aircraft carriers and nukes. Wow, Hoist, yeah, thank you. This is a lot of information. B-36 for aircraft and nukes. The nukes came, mucho funding. Okay. Thank you, Hoist. Hoist has a lot of good comments there, talking about the nuclear capability on the Navy. So that's appreciate. What is Hoist the Jack? He's just a guy that really has a lot of passion for it, right? You think, Hoist?
Ask him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're live.
We are live. Forrestals were. What is it?
Concini. I can't. It's too small. Conveniently powered, though.
Oh, okay. Conveniently powered, though. Yeah, so there was nuclear.
I was confused by that congeniality.
Yeah, congenial.
It's like, isn't that Sandra Bullock movie?
So yeah, there, of course, right. You could say nuclear power for propulsion or nuclear armament. I'm going to do a little deeper dive into this and do a video for March or April on that, because that's pretty fabulous and we have it written down. Thanks, Kilo. So what else do we have? Some events also going on?
Yes, so we do have our, it's, I believe, Vietnam Veterans event coming up in the end of March or the beginning of April.
It is March 29th.
March 29th. Which we are planning on doing a little event, something with the docents, and the docents really like to be involved in everything that we do, and a lot of them are Vietnam veterans as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's important to have them involved because they lived it and they do a lot to volunteer their time here. So
yeah, and because how history changes over time, and what we view today is not what people viewed back then. Vietnam veterans, of course, were not treated very well, and so they were given their own Memorial Day, which is what this day is. March 29th of every year is Vietnam Veteran Memorial Day. So it's a way of honoring those that potentially, because of the American culture back in the mid-70s, was not conducive to supporting them, that they were given that day. And as Stephen had said, most of our docents are Vietnam era. Certainly some are Vietnam conflict, but most of them are Vietnam era in some way. So
conventionally regular fuel, not nuclear fuel.
Oh, they're conventional, right? Okay, got it.
Scott says we gave up too soon on our nuclear-powered surface ships. He also said veterans are important. I feel like, well, that's absolutely true, Scott, and I'd like to use that to segue, because we haven't talked about it yet, and I feel like with us opening in a few weeks, we can talk about the new exhibit.
There you go.
And as veterans being important. So we are, the new exhibit that we're doing is called Two Wars, The Road to Integration, and it's a not oft talked about subject because it can, have the uncomfortability with it, but one of our things in our mission statement is honor, right? So we need to honor all veterans, and sometimes it is difficult for people to talk about certain veterans because of what's aligned with them. We don't want to talk about certain things. So this is just kind of our way of looking at the accomplishments that we did as a country and getting us to Executive Order 9981, which integrated the military.
Yeah, so that's, why don't you give it an overview? You said the title, right, but that might not mean.
Yeah, so Two Wars is kind of the idea is, battling, sacrificing their lives and their time and away from their family overseas, but also dealing with segregation and Jim Crow laws back here in the United States.
So you're talking specifically African Americans?
Yes. So,
okay.
But you can look at Puerto Rican military as well, because depending on the tone of their skin, if they were darker, they would be segregated into these units.
Oh.
There's something in the Buccaneers video, and we do have a Buccaneers monument here as well. So we just want to make sure that we're telling the story of every veteran, regardless of the topic surrounding it. And I've met some amazing people doing this. a couple veterans, children of veterans, and just to be able to tell their story and that they're being represented even through a tough subject. So we're pretty excited about it, and we're looking at it as like it's a positive thing that the country was able to integrate the military. We're not looking at it as like condemnation or anything. We're looking at the how we came together as a country to be able to do this. So we're looking forward to that. But it just goes back to the point of veterans are important, and I mean, we have to tell the story. We have to honor them all, right? So
yeah, because right, the veterans, as you said, the African American, the Hispanic, Puerto Rican veterans would go off and fight and be in those theaters and then come back and not be able to share a drinking fountain or not be able to share a bathroom. So that created a lot of distrust and angst, and we're very proud that it's part of a larger African American tour around Western New York.
Yeah.
And we're one of 7 stops that will be available to tour groups and things through our Convention and Visitors Bureau here at Visit Buffalo Niagara. And so we will be one of those stops for those groups coming from all over the country to honor African Americans, and specifically Western New York African Americans.
Yeah, so one of the more, as of lately, the more famous groups, if you will, is the 6888, the 688 Postal Battalion. And what they did was they sorted mail. It was about 1945. They had about 2 years of backlog. And one of the women is from right here in Buffalo. She grew up in Niagara Falls, spent her post-war days here in Buffalo. And as of Monday, Brian Higgins announced that it had passed Congress that the post office on Manhattan Avenue here in Buffalo will be renamed the Indiana Hunt Martin post office, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
And I happen to know her daughter, and she was one of the people I had interviewed for this project down in Baltimore. I went down there and met with her and Colonel Edna Cummings, and as soon as I heard it last night, I texted her and I said, "This is amazing."
That's her mother, right? That's her mother.
That was her mother. Yeah.
So
it's amazing that it makes sense. This is a post office she walked past every single day when she lived here in Buffalo, and she was part of that postal battalion. So
it makes absolute,
and it brings it closer to us because she's from Buffalo. She's a Western New Yorker, and
isn't that great?
Yeah. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple years ago, but I believe she was 98 years old.
Yeah, and as Scott says, it's a hard subject to cover, but it's an important story, as you say, Scott. So it's we don't want to leave anyone behind, right? So every community has a struggle, and this one hasn't really been told that well. And so we are really interested, and we're excited, and there's going to be an opening for that. So yeah, guys, we are just jumping right in here, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
We've got the fundraiser. We've got on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, as we mentioned last week, we are open for a soft opening for the first 2 rounds of the March Madness tournament.
Yes, March 16th through 18th, we'll be open. We'll be here for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
yeah, so we're trying to get the ships ready. One of the things that we talked about today that we're going to do is, if you watch that Admiral's Spaces video from our 28 and 28, that weather flag office, we are going to open. You and I even talked about that before Brendan started.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take out one of the kick plates from the doors, the upper one, and plexiglass that off, get some lights in there, and then talk about this is what happens when you don't preserve a space to the way we would like to see it. But again, we had no staff for a long time, or very few staff. And then we'll be opening also that stateroom that has all those the stickers on it.
Stickers, yeah.
People might not be able to see that, but those 2 spaces will be open and untouched, right? So you're going to see all the areas that we've cleaned and made exhibits and all that stuff. But when you walk by those 2 areas, that will really show you what happens when you just shut a door and 30 years later you open it.
Yeah, and you can see some of that footage in our first Let's Go episode.
Yes.
Which was titled, I think, All Hands when we made that first episode.
Yeah, All Hands episode.
And we decided to change the name to Let's Go.
Let's Go.
Let's Go is more of a behind the scenes type of video.
Yeah, I'd say.
It's a lot of us just discussing, not necessarily talking to the camera, but talking to each other.
Yeah.
And finding new things and seeing what we could do with them, and it's really cool. I remember the first one we did with John Branning was a lot of fun because he's got stories.
Yeah, I know.
And we do miss him for that.
Yeah, I miss that old guy. I don't think he watches, but that's true. So that's those. We're getting the Sullivan's Memorial Compartment set up and ready. We've got the Shamrock flag from the 1950s that flew aboard. We've got the World War II ensign that is getting ready to be put in that memorial compartment. And we've also done something different. We just made the executive decision today that on the 01 and the 02 levels of the Sullivans, it's just going to be a free-for-all. We have tried to set a path for the 01 and the 02 level, and the people are crossing each other. You're going this way, then you head up, and then you start walking that way, and it's just been a cluster. All right, so I was talking to Alan and Andrew today, Andrew Paul Biondo II, you guys know him, and I said, you know what? This is the way up from the main deck to the 01. That's the way down from the 01 and the 02. Everything else, just open it up. And so we want to see how that flow goes, where that's the whole 01 level through the forward superstructure, past the torpedoes, past the Bofors, to the aft superstructure. You can hit the fog gong, you can look around, and then you come back. And we're just going to see how that goes, just opening it up. But that's the one way up, that's the one way down. Once you're up there, however you decide to do it is up to you, the visitor.
Yeah.
Which I kind of
works. It actually works that way because you kind of already have people doing that already almost, because it is such an open space that you can kind of navigate your way around it.
Yeah, and I don't, listen, they're not going to be bumping into people, and with those restrictions, the 6 feet, I think people will be okay with crossing each other's paths now and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, for sure. Scott wanted to know why we had staffing shortage, and Ken interjected with it's because of COVID, and that's pretty true. Yeah,
but I mean, we're going, staffing issues go back the whole time, not just COVID. All of us were furloughed for about 3.5 months in 2020. And then when some of us did come back, not all of us came back. Right. So we had that, but also just throughout our history, we've always been a smaller, even though we're the largest inland naval park in the country, we've always been very small. Sometimes, our long-term, or our executive director for 17, 18 years was a guy named Colonel Cunningham. I did not work for him, but apparently, as John would say, he paid people out of his pocket during the wintertime. Right, because there was no money coming in and we didn't have fundraisers or endowments set up. And so a lot of times you've met John Branning before, our old senior chief subships, and it would only be him on board. And what can he do by himself during the wintertime? He did what he could do, and it was honorable. But, so that's the long-term staffing issues.
Yeah, and I think everybody kind of understands COVID and what it did to a lot of small businesses and everything, but not every museum has an endowment, and we were lucky. We were very lucky to make it through and come out on top, and we're just going forward, and we're doing good. And I think we bounced back from COVID very well.
Last year we did. Yeah,
there wasn't much funding for cultural institutions in the CARES Act. I only know that because I wrote a paper on the CARES Act.
All right.
But there wasn't a lot of funding, so a lot of these smaller museums weren't able to reopen their doors, and some of it just was by mandates. Broadway was closed for a year and a half. And some of these little.
The 01, 02, 03 level was closed for a long time.
I meant Broadway, like in New York City.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Broadway on the Little Rock. Okay, that's true. Hoist asks, you have not asked before, we do have the fog gong on both our ships that you mentioned, the Sullivans and the Little Rock. The Little Rock is on top of the missile house, so no one goes up there. It's just not open to the public. That would be the decking of the overhead of the missile house. When you're on the 01 level, our fog gong is is right there, so people
On the Sullivan.
boink. Yeah, you know, it's the one that just goes boink. You know, it doesn't really have a sound. The ship's bells, we do have USS Little Rock ship bell from 1945. The Sullivans, unfortunately, was taken at some point. The Croaker was also taken and sold, I think.
By taken, it was most likely like the Navy when they were gutting the ships. Or
No, it was taken.
Stolen.
Yeah, it was like stolen.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, and I think the Sullivans, from the scuttlebutt and just people with some institutional memory, was they took it and they melted it, and who knows what happened to the Croakers. I think it cracked or something, I don't know. But, you know, this is what happens when you don't have that control, that archival artifact control, right? Anyone who with a key can come on board Sunday night, they can take something, and, you know, it just is, the control is not there for the collections and the artifacts that it is now. We have a lot more control, you know, with me coming on board. That's what I established very quickly. No one's getting into those spaces without my knowledge. No one's going to have a key to those spaces, and it's just not a free-for-all anymore. So,
let's see here. So Scott,
thieves suck. You got that right, Hoist. Thank you.
Scott says, you know, we need to get volunteers, and that's something we do. We love volunteers. It's something that all museums use and all cultural institutions use. So if you are watching and you want to volunteer,
absolutely,
give us a shout.
We got Chris D. Hopefully, I don't see him on the line now, but you know, hopefully he's going to come around. He was going to work. His grandfather served on a Fletcher in World War II. He wants to spend some time and do a cleaning of the reefers. You know, Dale helped me with the photographs for the book. We got Brian again. Brendan was a volunteer. So we're slowly, because we're getting out there, right? We're getting the word out there, and we're not just insular. We're actually being active, and that spurns people to want to help.
Yeah, and that's, you know, like Brendan and myself, I can say that, you know, we started out as unpaid. I was an unpaid intern, and he was a volunteer, and we both work here now. Thanks to this guy right here.
I know, my gosh, who have I gotten hired here?
I know.
So you better not let me down, young Padawan.
But yeah, it's a great place to volunteer, even if it doesn't lead to work here. But the more volunteers we have, the more we could do, and the more the park succeeds.
Yeah, thank you. Husky, hello Husky.
Ken says, from my standpoint, many aviation museums are still struggling, canceling air shows. And yeah, that's true. And we were able to have the Blue Angels last year, so that did go off, even though we were still kind of in the midst of the pandemic.
Like people had to stay in their cars, I think, was the stipulation. But
but we were able to watch them right from the Little Rock, which was awesome. And they were doing the training for what, like practice runs for a couple days. And
oh yeah, I mean talk about awesome.
Right over us.
Yeah, you know, in their diamond formation sideways.
I do have video footage of it.
You do? Well, didn't we do a danger zone thing? Didn't I? Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of our TikTok videos. I will
promote TikTok.
I can quote. We do have a TikTok page, and we're not really on top of it, which we should be, because it's a great way to definitely go viral. So we are going to try and pick that up again this summer.
Maybe, yeah.
But we really should show some of that footage of the Blue Angels.
Yeah, we probably have
put together a few-minute video.
Yeah, you did.
And
we should put it up on YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. We'll put it up on YouTube.
Hello, Husky. How are you? Sorry, we see some comments. I found a super detailed Fletcher class destroyer, and I'm so excited to print it.
That's the
3D printing. Yep. And we are excited to see it, sir. That would be great.
Ken would steal a torpedo. And then Hoist says, yeah, just throw it over your shoulder.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, okay.
I'm going to help work on something this summer. Scott, thank you. Based on our conversations, maybe you'd want to do something in the missile house, so we can plan something. But anything helps, and it's so great. To have everyone's interest, and really this has been a great way of reaching out to people. And yeah, maybe 6 months ago you had no idea that we were here. We had no idea that you were out there. And listen, it's really synergy. That's what it's all about. Do you want to talk about the subscriber if we hit certain level?
Yes, so we briefly said something last week, and then this week we were kind of coming up with ideas. And one of the things, we're about 1,800 subscribers.
Yeah.
And we know that now that we're doing these things and getting the word out there and everything, and maybe with, more live videos and more, things like the 28 and 28, and maybe even more TikTok videos, we'll get more subscribers. So we have a plan in place. We are going to do a giveaway and possibly a get together.
Yeah.
So when we hit 3,000 subscribers, our giveaway is going to be a flag that will have flown from all 3 of our vessels.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And we also are talking about doing a get-together of our subscribers and maybe having a little night out on the fantail of Little Rock and do a movie night or do,
whatever.
Yeah, just a get-together, socialize, and I mean the ships are beautiful at night.
Oh yeah, the summer's
sitting
great.
on the Buffalo River, and it's really awesome. So get the word out. We need your help to get the subscribers. So 3,000 is the goal, and then we have some cool stuff for you guys.
Is that how that works? Is that like kosher? I mean, we talked about it, but is that kosher to ask like subscribers to like get other subscribers?
Absolutely.
Or is that something I should be doing, like spending 8 hours a day?
And we do it, and you've taken us from like a couple hundred subscribers up to 1,800.
Try 24, buddy.
We were at 24.
We were at 24.
24 subscribers when Shane started doing the videos.
Yeah.
We were at 1,800 and
48. I think 1,848.
We would really like to just get bigger, and it's great to talk to you guys and tell naval history and hear what you guys have to say about naval history, because sometimes you guys
absolutely
know more than we do.
Absolutely. Again, but on the ships at night, it'd be great to have a beer, a beer blast or something. Now that means, obviously probably not everyone would be able to go, but you can wrap it into a larger vacation, something like that, for the night. That would be great. Buffalo is one of the only cities in America that's in the interior of the country that has a sunset over water, right? Because we are on the eastern side of Lake Erie from your perspective, and so
thank you, Ken.
We have a water sunset, which you don't normally get when you're in the interior of the country.
Ken said he's going to throw us a shout out to get us some subscribers.
Hey, thank you. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, you did that before, and that really helped. And when you come down, okay, good. When you come down, we'll do joint things, and that will.
Yeah, we can have them on the live show. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, Ken, we got to get you on the live show. Any one of you want to come on the live show, we are totally open to that. Right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm having one of the subscribers. He's in town for the day, so I'm giving him a tour around the ship. That's pretty cool. So he'll be here at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be walking him around because he travels for work and he's visited a lot of ships. I asked him for his YouTube handle. I don't know if he's responded, but I can't remember what his YouTube handle is. But so he will be around tomorrow for a tour. So if that happens, you're in Buffalo, and even if we're closed, I could walk you around for an hour and a half or so. That'd be great. But the curator tours, we talked about that already. I'm really kind of shifting them and trying, I just tried them last year, but I'm trying to, have a little more interesting spots. So all of this is a growth, right? And that's why it's so good to have you guys.
C. McBee gave us hello, C. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well,
has he been on the live shows though? I'm not sure if he's.
I don't know if he's been on a live, but yes.
A
great future video
between the Little Rock and the Saratoga when they almost collided. So that could be an interesting video as well.
I do not know that history.
Yeah, I don't either. So that's something we can look up, and that could be a cool video.
That would be a very cool video. Write it down, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I know the Sullivans and the Massachusetts collided. I know that the Little Rock, maybe the Little Rock slammed into a Greek destroyer. All right, so we have a picture of her bow kind of sheared off, but not what you'd think of when there's been other ships where the bow's completely gone and they're just steaming through the water with no bow at all. It wasn't like that, but a part of the blade was cut, but slamming against Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Do you know what year that would have been? C. McBee? Is that what it's? Yeah.
So Hoist says live show where we go live from other museum ships, and that's something we have, like, we're not there yet, but it would be nice to do in the future. You know, that also comes with funding and being able to go to a different museum ship.
But isn't that what Ryan does, guys? I think Ryan, I don't know if he does the live shows, but he certainly goes to other museums, certainly, and now he's doing helicopters. I think his past couple of videos or something about helicopters and things like that.
That's pretty cool. But I mean, we could do stuff. We could probably do something at the Buffalo History Museum. Aligns with us, and
yeah, that would be cool.
But that is something. I mean, again, going back to the subscribers things, the more subscribers we have, you know, we do make a little bit of money off of advertising off of this, which is, you know, goes right back to the park. And so the more funding we do have, the more things that we can do like that.
Love to see Drac on the show. Okay, that's Drac NFL. I think I'm pronouncing it right. You know, he's a naval history buff, and he's got 350,000 subscribers or something like that. He's from Britain. He might work with Ryan, but I don't think he'd work with us. Right?
Why? We're awesome.
We are.
He just has to watch one of our live shows.
Well, yeah.
Somebody get him the link.
Yeah, I don't, you know, he might say that we're just too small for him, right? That we won't expand his audience very much.
I understand.
Potentially. But no, I like that, and I watch his videos, and sometimes I go to the Wikipedia page to see what he's just pulling off Wikipedia, but that's another story for another day.
Hoist is saying we could zoom in with other people. We can certainly do that as well. Just have to figure out how to do that. I guess if we do have the screen behind us, we can easily do that.
Do what?
Like have somebody zoom in and be a guest on our show.
Oh,
via
yeah.
Zoom or via satellite.
That's right. So yeah, Run In with the Saratoga was in the late 60s in the Mediterranean, I think. I'll post the link. Thank you, that would be great, because I'd like to read more about that. We have probably some subscribers that served on board at that time, 68, 67, I'm thinking of one guy in particular, but I think that would be great. And maybe the collisions, put the Sullivans in Massachusetts, and I'll combine that into another video, because we can actually see the welding job, the damage control weld on the Sullivans. You could see the riveting on the blade of the Little Rock, and so those are really tangible stories. You know, that sometimes that stuff happens, right?
So everybody's saying we should reach out to Drac. So, I mean, it's worth a shot, and Ken gave us a little shout out right there. We've helped him get some subscribers and stuff, and
yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah, so I mean, Drac, if you're watching.
Well, he is in Britain, so yeah, it would be like, you know, whatever it is, 3 in the morning or something there. Well, but I'll reach out to him.
You should get Travis from the Texas on too. They have some open weekends coming up he could talk about.
Okay, yeah, please. Take dictation, Steve.
Apparently I'm his secretary now.
So Travis I've met Travis before at the HINZA conferences. Yeah, you know what, this is really nice. I kind of, you know, sometimes get insulated, but yeah, we could talk to anybody. We can bring Shanna from the Slater. We could maybe bring Tim from the Kid. You know,
yeah, Patriots Point.
Patriots Point. I don't know. See, I don't think the Patriots Point guys go to the HINZA conference. But there's definite, as we were talking a couple weeks ago, there's definitely like that delineation between the Intrepid, Midway, Patriots Point, Pearl Harbor. You know, they kind of stay together and they have their own scotch, you know, and us, you know, we're kind of considered we're the elite beat feet. Right, so
we'll change that. We'll change.
We try. We try. I'm a friendly dude.
We'll become the network.
Not that friendly, but yeah. Okay. Yep.
History X says that they should all go comment on Drac's channel and mention the Buffalo neighborhood.
Oh.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not condoning it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Right, no, I think, well, that's one of the things that YouTube says, like start commenting on people's pages, right? So now he might get so many comments that he just doesn't read them, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of these guys are subscribers, but thanks, Ken, that's great.
You know who would be a great person to have zoom in?
No.
Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus.
Yes, it would. Hey, how's my compartment coming? Right? Yeah, it would be.
It would be.
We did just have him here in June.
Yeah.
I think. But so we got to give him a little time to fit his other schedules in.
Yeah, but that would be cool.
You guys might enjoy that, right? Like the Secretary of the Navy under President Obama would be. That's something. I wish George Mendonza was alive, our kissing sailor, helmsman on the Sullivans. That he would have been a nice guy, but this technology wasn't around when he was around. So,
Edward says we should have Kelly on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
How long we should find out how long she'll be here.
Yes, we will find out how long she is here. So yeah, I'm sorry, but we should write all these people down.
Yeah, that's why
Kelly,
that's why I brought
Seknav, Travis, Tim, the guys from Patriots Point, Drek NFL. Should we have Ryan on? Would Ryan come on?
Absolutely should have Ryan on.
Okay, put Ryan on there. I'll see if we can get in touch with Ryan. Shanna from Slater. This is great, guys. Thank you. This is awesome.
Networking is great. Networking is absolutely great.
Synergy.
And talking to people. I mean, I've met people working on this exhibit they were working on from the Smithsonian, and they have been absolute blessings to this project. I mean, I don't know if it would be what it is without their advisement, especially Dr. Salter, who worked on one of the exhibits at the Smithsonian. And then, just meeting people at, like you said, at HINZA, and just working with different people. I think it's important. So many museums just kind of stick to their own.
Yeah.
But there's so many naval museums, naval ships out there that working with them works well. I had spoke to the director of education at Patriots Point about, what they were doing COVID-wise and
for the encampments.
Yeah, like safety procedures or what have you. And she was her name is Sarah. Can't remember her last name, so I do apologize, but she was so forthcoming and just like, yeah, this is what we did, and yeah, check this out and that out and everything. And of course, every state is different with their COVID protocols, and especially we live in Erie County, which is very strict on their COVID. But
not so much now.
It is great. It is great to have these networkings, and I don't think a lot of people take advantage of that, and it's something we should, all of us, naval ships and museums should take advantage of.
No, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Hoist. We've been telling New Jersey to do a show with you. Thank you. Yes, Ryan is a very nice guy. I've spent some time with him at our conferences, so I've met him twice, and we spent 10 days, 11 days running in the same circles together. So he's a nice guy to hang with and a nice guy to learn from. Okay.
Shane, I'll send you an email about the best way to do a live on YouTube with a remote guest. Awesome.
Ken, you are fabulous.
Ken, you are fabulous, Kenny. You're one of our, it's great to have somebody like him who does this and knows the struggles that we're going through, but to be so passionate about what we're doing.
Yeah,
and thank you very much for that. I mean, it's very much appreciated.
And we've promoted him before, but please, if you have not visited his channel, he's done a couple videos, and that's how we got started with the USS Johnston. He's working on, a lot of airplanes, different passions other than Navy, but there are some Navy things there, and he's got a great channel. I think he's probably at about 6,000 subscribers right now, maybe, so, and growing, which is great, and he's a great guy, and he wants to do this full time, so he's beginning that life, that secondary life of wanting his channel to allow that to be his full-time job, and I'm fully supportive of that, and we do what we can,
and it's great that we have that connection with them.
Yeah.
So when you make it to Discovery Plus or something, just remember about us.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, Ryan and Libby, best thing to happen to the New Jersey since grade paint. All right.
That's good. Who said that?
Kilo said that.
Yeah.
Robert Arrington says, I'm working with Libby at New Jersey on transcripting the deck logs this week. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool stuff.
That is very cool. Transcribing them into digital format, I assume, right? Like into a Word document or something. Robert, that's great. Libby is a very nice person, very high energy. And I've enjoyed getting to know her at last year's conference at the Alabama. So
BB62 has an excellent crew. They really do a great job. Clark Perks does a great job too.
I don't know Clark. I don't think. I think there's a guy named Ken that also does, sometimes he's on their YouTube video or YouTube channel. But I don't know Clark off the bat. You know, with these HINSA conferences, it's usually only 1 or 2 people per staff. For us, 1 or 2 people, or 2 people is
half our staff.
Yeah, is like 20% of our staff, right? But you know, for New Jersey, where I think there's 75 people, you know, it was Ryan and Libby this year, and good fun. They guess they were slurping some oysters, and I had a po' boy or something like that down in Mobile. Mobile.
All about the Navy too. Just interviewed a World War II veteran that served aboard an LST. You'll see those videos soon.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Those.
Yes. LSTs, landing ship tanks. There are 356 of them constructed here in Buffalo and Tonawanda, about 5 miles north of here. Maybe not, maybe 7 miles, I guess. But 356, the largest single shipyard, the Bison Shipbuilding Company, did 356 LSTs here in Buffalo.
Yeah. Po' boys are better than oysters. Clark is the membership director, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Large steel targets, Robert says.
And that was in relation to the transcribing the deck logs?
No, I think the LST.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, LST, large steel targets.
It took us a second.
I was like, is he going to transcribe on a? Yeah, that's right. That's funny.
So we do only have about 5 minutes left, guys. So if you want to ask any last second questions, real quick. So we have opening day again is March 26th.
Yeah.
We're going to have a ceremony at 10 o'clock here at the park, which is a Saturday morning. We are going to be going live about 9:45.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. I keep forgetting that.
He keeps forgetting, but I'm going to keep reminding him. I think it'll be really cool for you guys to see it. We're going to set up right in front of where they're setting everything up, so you'll get to watch that behind us as we talk about opening day.
Yeah.
But you only get about 15 minutes. But it's pretty cool because we're going to live stream the whole thing, so once we're done talking, you can watch our opening ceremony, which will be really cool. You'll get to hear from Paul, our CEO. We'll have a few things to say, and we usually have a couple other guests. So, and then in April we are doing, I had mentioned it earlier, the Barucaneers. We will be doing an event at their monument as well, which is one of the first events that I worked at when I was here.
Yeah, April 14th I think is Barucaneer Day.
So that was really cool. I'm excited for it to come up again.
Still at that
It's a little cold, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys, so we are coming back on the 16th. All right, is our next live session. We hope to transcribe Steven's notes here because I can read the chicken scratch.
Total chicken scratch.
But
when I'm writing notes real quick, halfway through the word, I just start like making lines, and I'm like, I'll remember, and I never remember.
Your video in Shaft Alley of the Little Rock claustrophobic. No. Thank you, Ken and History X. Please visit his channel again. But no, I do not suffer from claustrophobia. I suffer from fear of heights. The highest I went was, well, the SPS 30 is pretty high. The big black radar dish on the Little Rock, that's pretty high. That's about 70 feet off the deck, maybe.
Yeah, and then where we do the signal flags.
Oh, yeah, that's on the 05 level.
I'll tell you what, it's weird.
I get a little knee locked at that height, 60, 70, 80 feet.
So for me with heights, especially like on the Little Rock, looking down doesn't really bother me. When I look up, that's when my legs get shaky because I know how high up I am and I can't like secure myself almost, you know what I mean? So when I look up, I get a little, but yeah, it's still cool to go up to the different spots.
It is. I mean, it just is. I would like to go way up to the 09 level, which is just like the highest platform, yeah, on the main.
And it's John Branding thinks that it's higher than the Skyway, and I think that it is too, because
that's what he says.
Driving on the Skyway, if you look over to it, it definitely appears to be higher than the Skyway.
And that's 160 feet, you know, from the ground or something. Yeah, I think my knees would lock pretty quickly.
I mean, just driving on the Skyway when it's a little windy is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is. So we also, our center line lanyard snapped, our halyard snapped. So that's where we'd put the five Gold Star flag, the Sullivan's flag, and the state of Iowa flag in honor of the five brothers. So someone's going to have to get up there on that tripod mast.
See, but when you're so high up on a little rock looking down at that, that doesn't seem so bad anymore.
Well, okay, I'll try to keep that in perspective if I'm the one going up there and doing it.
But the croaker, getting on top of the croaker sail, especially this past year when she was listing, that's scary. It was scary, and Shane had to maneuver his way. I tried to do it, but my belly was just about an inch too far out. And I mean, if you had seen the way that Shane had to get up here, it was
and if you're on top, thank you. If you're on top of the conning tower on the croaker, you're right. You're only 30 feet from the deck, maybe 40 feet from the water, but that platform is only like 4 feet wide. There's holes everywhere because you have all of the antenna and the periscopes coming out in the arrays, and so it's 100 degrees there, the steel is black, and you're crawling trying to, avoid those voids, right, where the periscopes would be and the antenna arrays and the search antennas, and it's, that's even harrowing. So you're not that high, but you're on a very narrow platform, and it's hot, and you're sweating, and but I do it. But going up in the SPS 30, no problem. SPS 43, I don't know about that. That might be a little, but I still have to get up to the gun directors, everybody. So that was the two videos that you saw in 28 and 28. It's beginning, well, I don't know if it's going to warm up anytime soon, but very quickly.
60 something on Sunday.
What?
60 something on Sunday.
Oh my God.
But it's supposed to rain all day.
Well, I'm coming down. I'm kidding. All right. So I will get up to those gun directors on the gun director platform on the Sullivans and the gun directors on the 05 level on the Little Rock.
Yeah. All right. Our next live show is tentatively scheduled for March 16th. We think it's going to go off without a hitch, but it is a very busy week.
Yeah.
So that is Wednesday, March 16th.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, before we said the 16th through the 18th for the soft open, it's actually the 17th through the 19th.
You're right, 17th through the 19th.
That's our fault, but March 16th, and then on March 26th, we will be live on opening day, and that day we will be giving away 2 tickets.
Oh yeah, we're going to be live that day?
Opening day. Guy, you... I know. This is what I got to deal with. March 26th, 9:45 to 10 o'clock, and then please stay on for the opening ceremonies that you'll be able to watch as well. And so we'll give away 2 tickets to the park, and whenever you can use them anytime in the 2022 season. And you come down here.
Yeah, and stay in contact. I don't have a video.
When you do, you'll buy a Sully bear.
Stay in contact with me. Keep leaving comments on the videos if you're reviewing them, because this has really been helpful. I did that one yesterday without any editing help, or was it yesterday? Yeah, I think. So you guys have other questions? I have a couple written down in my office. I love that interaction, as I keep saying. You guys are great. We'd like to learn more about you, which is why we want to bring you down here, right? And for a subscriber night, kick back on the fantail.
3,000.
3000, right? Is it? Okay,
sure.
Good. Yeah, good. But no jumping off the fantail like we had someone this year. Or this past summer. Yeah. So again, if you have any questions, just comment on any of our videos, or you can reach out to Shane via his email. And we love doing this for you guys. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys. Go to bed. Go to bed, Cash.